Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will discuss presupposition. Presupposition is a very important topic in pragmatics subfield of linguistics. Let's first define what presupposition is. A presupposition is an implicit assumption about the background relating to an utterance. So presupposition is something which a speaker assumes to be a background of an utterance. Second definition is a presupposition is something that the speaker assumes to be the case prior to making an utterance. So simply, it is something where the speaker assumes that it may be the background of an utterance. Like in examples, we have example Jane no longer writes fiction. So here we have two presuppositions and the speaker may assume that Jane once wrote fiction. This is the assumption. And Jane exists. Jane is a person. So here Jane no longer writes fiction. The background is where the speaker assumes that Jane once wrote fiction. This is the presupposition. This is the background relating to an utterance. This is the assumption of a speaker behind an utterance. The second example is, have you stopped eating meat? The presupposition may be, you had once eaten a meat. Now the you had once eaten a meat is the assumption behind an utterance. Constancy under negation. Constancy under negation is that presupposition will remain constant, still true even when there is negation. It means that if we put negation in a sentence, the presupposition will constant and the negation will have no effect on presupposition. Like for example, the example is Mary cat is cute. Now here we have two presuppositions. One is Mary exists. Second is she has a cat. Now if we put negation in this utterance, like Mary cat is not cute, not as negation, still the presupposition is Mary exists and she has a cat. So the negation will have no impact on presupposition and the presupposition will remain constant. Second example is, everybody knows Mary is married. Here we have two presuppositions, like Mary exists, she is married. Now if we put if we put negation, like everybody doesn't know Mary is married, still the presupposition will be Mary exists, she is married. The negation will have no impact and the presupposition will remain constant. Types of presupposition. The first is existential presupposition. They are the presupposition of existence. In this we have the possessive constructions and noun phrases. Like in possessive construction we have your car, your dog, and in the noun phrases we have the girl next door. In this, the girl is noun phrase, while in possessive construction the your car, your dog, these are the possessive construction. So the existential presupposition basically is the presupposition of existence, in which we have the possessive constructions and noun phrases. Factive presupposition, they are the assumptions that something is true because of the presence of some verbs. Factive means that information given is true or fact. The effective verbs are know, realize, regret, and aware. And examples are I know he has a car. She didn't realize she was ill. I wasn't aware of your loss. Non-factive presuppositions are the assumptions which are considered not true because of some non-factive verbs like dream, imagine, and pretend. The examples are I dreamed that I was in America. He pretends to be ill. Contrafactual presupposition. In contrafactual, the assumption what is presupposed is not only untrue but is opposite of what is true. Like, for example, if I were rich, I would buy a car. Here, the situation is that I am not rich. So the utterance is not only untrue but also opposite of truth. Truth is I am not rich. And here in utterance, if I were rich, I would buy a car. Second is they wish they could go on vacation. This is not only untrue but also opposite to what is true. What is truth? They can't go on vacation. Lexical presupposition is the assumption that in using one word, the speaker can act as another meaning is understood. Like a particular word is taken to presuppose another unstated concept. For example, are you still a bad driver? Here the presupposition will be that you were a bad driver. The second example is you are late again. The presupposition may be that you were late before. Now the presupposition, what is presupposed, is not the stated concept, it is the unstated concept. But because of the construction of words, something else is understood which is not stated concept. Last we have the structural presupposition. Because of the structure of some sentences, the information given in them is assumed to be true. They are constructed with WH questions like when did he leave, where did you buy the bike. So this is all about presupposition. Let's give it a quick review. Presupposition is something which a speaker assumes to be the background of an utterance. Like for example, we have example Jane no longer writes fiction. What the speaker assumes is that Jane once wrote fiction. Constancy under negation mean that if we put negation in an utterance, the concept will be constant and it will be still true. The existential is presupposition of existence. The factive is the presupposition that something is true because of some factive verbs like know, realize, regret, aware. Non-factive is that the assumption is not true because of non-factive verbs like dream, imagine, pretend. In contrafactual, the concept or the assumption is not only untrue but also opposite of what is true. In lexical, the unstated concept is understood. The speaker utters to make one meaning, but some unstated concept is understood, like you are late again. Speaker is asking about that, why are you late again? But the unstated concept is that you were late before. Structure is that because of some constructions, the presupposition is assumed and the information given in them is assumed to be true. So this is all about presupposition. I hope the video will be helpful. Thank you very much.